the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 3. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And citation to the Akim out there pushing this truth to sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami Camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Proverbs, chapter 20, verse 23, is that Japan just announced literally a couple of minutes ago, and that's why I'm doing a lesson, that they are now raising their long-term interest rates, okay? And this is extraordinary because their long-term interest rates hasn't been risen, all right, for the past 30 years, okay? And so I asked ChatGPT, what does it mean for the American economy now that Japan raised their 30-year interest rate to 0.75%? Okay? And the reason why Japan did this is because their country is suffering due to inflation. The cost of living keeps accelerating, all right? And the Japanese, all right, government is seeing their people suffer. And instead of turning on the printing machine to jumpstart the economy, all right, they're now slowing down the printing machine by raising interest rates, all right, while simultaneously selling, and we're going to get into it, selling U.S. Treasury bonds. And by the way, Japan is the number one country that, all right, is holding America's debt. It's not China, it's Japan. And now they're selling their U.S. treasuries too, just as China is and Europe as well. So what does this mean for America? We're going to get into it. And again, this is why I brought out Proverbs chapter 20, verse 23, because this whole financial system, all right, is an abomination, okay? This whole system is a fraud. It's, okay? It's not fair. Okay? Again, let's go back to Proverbs chapter 20, verse 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. Right. This whole economic system is a false balance. All right. These investors were getting cheap cash from Japan. All right. So that they can invest it in this casino here on Wall Street. Okay. And they were doing it for 30 years and they got proud about it. Okay. And now the Lord is judging their asses too. A lot of people about to be affected by this. You get ready to see bankers, investors doing, all right, base jumping without the parachute, meaning swan, all right, I was gonna say swanton bomb off the roof, all right. If you watch wrestling, there's a character named Jeff Hardy. He does a swanton bomb off a high ladder. Well, you're going to see a lot of these investors and bankers jumping off the roof doing that type of style and killing themselves because, all right, cheap free money has been closed. All right, that's again, and as you see right here, it signals the end of free money from Japan, and this is where a lot of these investors, a lot of these bankers, all right, we're going to borrow money, then investing it in this casino known as Wall Street. So let's bring out the scripture again. Proverbs chapter 20, verse 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, and a false balance is not good. The Lord detests double standards, right? Double standards. Here it is. They're telling you to go take out a loan with high fucking interest rates. Meanwhile, these cocksucking, all right, bankers and investors are going to fucking Japan with zero interest rate, getting free cash so they can invest it in Wall Street and then get a profit, okay, from it. Okay, talk about the double standards. All right, that's why the Lord is bringing judgment to these faggots. All praise and glory to Yahweh Bashem El Shai. I love seeing how the Lord gets down, judging you fucking, all right, prideful investors and bankers, man, all right, that are not part of the core cabal of elites, all right, because uh, these regional banks and a lot of these millionaires and even certain billionaires, they are going to lose it all, okay? So let's go now to what this breakdown, because ChatGPT gives you the, all right, the playbook. So I asked ChatGPT, what does it mean for the American economy now that Japan raised their 30-year interest rates to 0.75%? If Japan has raised long-term interest rates such as 30-year to around 0.75%, the meaning for U.S. economy is less about the exact number and more about what it signals and how capital flows react. Here's the breakdown in plain terms. It signals the end of free money from Japan. For decades, 30 years, Japan's ultra-low rates made it the largest source of cheap global capital. Japanese institutions borrowed cheaply at home and invested abroad, all right, including American investors and American banks too, okay? Not just the Japanese. They all did it, especially in U.S. treasuries, corporate bonds, stocks, and real estate. When long-term Japanese rates rise, Japanese investors can now earn more at home. The incentive to keep money in U.S. assets declines. Ooh. Oh yeah. This is why Donald Trump is getting the military ready to go. This threatens a reversal of capital flows. Implication America, less foreign demand for U.S. debt and assets, meaning no more foreign countries buying U.S. debt. All right. So now where's this debt going to go? Back to the Federal Reserve, because that's why the Federal Reserve is buying up all these U.S. Treasury bonds. They're trying to absorb, okay, this nuclear option. They're making, that's why they keep lowering interest rate, and they're going to have to lower it even more, all right, which is going to cause even more inflation. Get ready to see the cost of living double, all right? Revelation, hold up. Revelation, and you're going to get the truth here at Great Millstone, okay? Revelation 6:6. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, a measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny, and see thou hurt not the oil and wine. It's talking about the truth, the oil and wine. But let's go to the NLT version, because we're about to experience hyperinflation. NLT, and I heard a voice from among the 4 living beings saying, a loaf of wheat bread or 3 loaves of barley will cost a day's pay. That's hyperinflation. And this is the signal. All right, this is the setup. It's going to get real nasty in America. Upward pressure on U.S. interest rates, right? Japan is one of the largest holders of U.S. treasuries, meaning U.S. debt, okay? Don't let these fancy words fool you. U.S. debt. If yields in Japan rise, some Japanese funds will sell U.S. Treasury. This is happening now. This is not some, a lot. It's happening right now. Or stop buying new ones. That's happening now. Again, the reason why the Japanese are raising the interest rate, because they no longer want to devalue their currency anymore. Okay? So now where are they going to get money to jumpstart their economy? If they're no longer going to lower interest rates, they're going to sell U.S. Treasury bonds, okay? And use that to make an attempt to jumpstart their economy, all right? Because they don't want to see the cost of living rise in their country anymore. This is basic economics, all right? But you got clowns, okay, among our people, all right? Jake talking about generational wealth and, you got to get you got to get the bag, putting the day off, putting the day of the Lord off because I got to get the bag. They don't even know what's happening. Okay? The scriptures say, do not put off the Lord, put the day of the Lord off. Okay? Wait, let me see if I can find that. I know I'm roughly where in the Bible does it say not to put off the day of the Lord? Hopefully I'm saying that right. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I think it's in Sirach. Where in Sirach? Where in Sirach? Yeah, Sirach 5 and 7. Sirach 5 and 7. Yep. Just go with my instincts. Go to Sirach chapter 5, verse 7. Sirach 5 and 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day. Right. Okay. You have Jake that are like, no, I can't seek the Lord. I got to get this bag. All right. I got to get my college education. I got to, okay, get generational wealth. For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed and perish in the day of vengeance. Right. And a lot of people in America about to be affected by this. This is it. All right. What Japan just did is going to be a shock to the global economy, especially here in America. The U.S. must offer higher yields to attract buyers. Right. Okay, that means higher mortgage rates, higher business borrowing costs, higher federal debt services. And this is something the American government does not want. So you know what they're going to do? They're going to print money to absorb all these U.S. Treasury bonds that are now being thrown back onto the market. All right? Because somebody's got to buy them. And who's going to buy them? The Federal Reserve. Because nobody's going to touch that shit. All right? It's a fucking ticking time bomb. That's what they call a nuclear option. All right, got Jake talking about generational. Don't even know what the hell is happening. This is spicy though. Okay, we're clearly here. A crash is coming, man. Okay, it's about to get real nasty in America. You don't let me bring that, because really, ultimately, this is going to lead to an economic, all right, collapse in America, because the dollar is going to die. This is what it is. This is the death of the dollar. Zephaniah chapter 1. And I'm going to start at 10. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that there shall be the noise of a cry from the fish gate, and a howling from the second, and great crashing from the hills. Right. Okay. This economic crash is going to cause chaos even amongst the governments, because hills represent government. Okay. You're going to see the government, all right, having to go to draconian measures because the economy, all right, has caused harm, all right, to the everyday people. All right, you're going to see local governments, all right, fall here in America. All right. I wouldn't be surprised. Detroit, Chicago, okay, Pittsburgh, Baltimore, okay, Camden, all right, San Francisco, all right. I wouldn't be surprised. Those Seattle, I wouldn't be surprised. Those cities begin to fall. Those governments, those local governments begin to fall. All right. And this is when the troops come. The military comes. All right. And a lot of you Jakes are about to become target practice. 11. How ye inhabitants of Miktesh, for all the merchant people are cut down. All that bear silver are cut off. Right. Okay. So there's going to be a big howl, a big cry. Okay. Just like what happened in Miktesh. All right. Here's the proof. Go to Miktesh. All right. This is a ma. This is a ka. All right. This is a tha. This is a sha. So it's makdash. Makdash. All right. A hollow, a valley, evidently in the greater Jerusalem area. Okay. There you go. This was. And this was a place in Jerusalem, right? Okay, so excuse me, this was a place in Jerusalem. So let me just get a little bit more. Google AI. All right, what was Miktesh in the Bible? It was a commercial district. Excuse me, in ancient Jerusalem. Okay, so it was in Jerusalem, a commercial district in Jerusalem, likened to a mortar grinding bowl due to its shape and busy merchant activity. Famously mentioned in Zephaniah 1:11, where inhabitants face divine judgment, right, from the economic collapse. Just like we got judged, okay, back then, hey, Hey, that's why the scriptures say what was written aforetime was written for our learning. Okay, so yeah, so Miktesh was a district in Jerusalem. So the city was Jerusalem, and it was a district that was a part of Jerusalem. All right. For example, you have the financial district in Manhattan. Okay, Manhattan's the city. The financial district is where that faggot ass Wall Street casino is at. Okay, there you go. Okay, that's a compare. Yep, Jerusalem's mortar, Zephaniah 1:11. This is the most prominent reference describing the bustling financial center for merchants and money changers, located near the fish gate, which God would grind in judgment. There you go. Okay, hey, it's all spiritual, man. What was written aforetime was written for our learning. So, hey, America is that modern day Maktesh. Okay, and it's going, and the Lord, hey, the Lord judged Maktesh before He's going to do it again. Okay. Now check this out. 3. Stress on the carry trade, a hidden risk. Yen carry trade has been a major pillar of global liquidity, right? Cheap cash. What they say here, free money. Borrow yen cheaply. Invest in higher yielding U.S. assets, right? And that was the scheme. Okay. Again, Proverbs chapter. It was okay. It was wicked. Okay, Proverbs chapter 20, verse 23. Diverse weights are an abomination unto the Lord, and a false balance is not good. All right, again, here it is. They force us, all right, to take out a loan with high interest. Meanwhile, all right, they were taking out loans from Japan with no interest, all right, and then investing it in U.S. assets, stocks, bonds, you name it. Rising Japanese rates, and that's why this place is ran in wickedness. All right, it's called what's it called? What the secret side is called alchemy. Let me show you this word. This is it. That's what I'm looking for. Hey man, this is why I hated this fucking economy. I hated this fucking financial system. This is what I'm looking for. Alchemy is money, and money refers to a seemingly magical creation of transformation of value, often involving bank systems creating money as debt, central banks printing money, quantitative easing, or complex financial products that promise high returns with reduced risk, like buffered ETFs. All processes that feel like turning lead into gold, but involves systematic faith. Right. This is all based on faith. There's no real value. You're printing. You're taking out cheap cash. Okay, creating inflation from one nation. Okay, so that you can, all right, get wealthy. It's fucking insane, man. This is alchemy and money. Leverage and often create new risk or bubbles. It is also used metaphorically for personal finance, turning ordinary finances into wealth through strategy and mindset. Right. So that's it. Money creation. The modern banking system's ability to manufacture money supply through debt creations, loan and mortgages, as seen as financial alchemy, turning promises into currency. All right. That's what this whole system is. It's witchcraft. It's all sorcery. Okay. That's what I was looking for. The Wadi Yabashim Shai for just having me continue to look this up. You see? Hey, we're going to get the truth here through the Spirit Power Yahweh Bashim Shai, mainly at Great Millstone. All right? So that's what was going on. The creation of money through the Federal Reserve. It's all, okay, a fraud. Okay? That's why the Lord is going to judge this place. So, rising Japanese rates plus potential yen strengthening makes the trade less profitable, forces leverage investors to unwind positions, right? Margin calls. Get ready to see base jumpers. Get ready to see bankers flying off of New York City rooftops. Can trigger sudden market volatility. Sharp sell-offs in the U.S. stock, bonds, or real estate if carry trades unwind. This is what we're about to see. A huge sell-off. Get ready for that crash. Stronger yen and weaker dollar pressure. If Japanese rates rise, which has just happened, the yen becomes more attractive. Capital flows back into Japan, the dollar can weaken, and that's what's happening. Okay? For the U.S., imports become more expensive. Inflation pressures may reemerge. No, it is happening. It's going to get more expensive. the Fed's job becomes harder. This matters especially if inflation is already sticky, which is now. If it exposes the U.S. dependence on foreign financing, the U.S. runs large fiscal deficits, massive treasury issuance. Japan stepping back even modestly means fewer natural buyers, greater reliance on the Fed. U.S. banks are riskier investors, more fragile bond markets, long-term risk, higher structural borrowing costs for the U.S. government. All right. So there you go. All right, and which is that's it. America's cooked. Japan literally created a nuclear option to save their own ass because their people were suffering. All right, so America's cooked, and you could blame the rich men. That's why it says in James chapter 5 verse 1, "Go to now, ye rich men, weep and howl for your miseries that shall come upon you." 2, your riches are corrupt and your garments are moth eaten. You see that? Okay. 3, your gold and silver is canker, and the rust of them shall be a witness against you, and shall eat your flesh as it were fire. Ye have reaped treasures together for the last days. Right, we're in the last day. This is a sign. This is a sign that we're in the last days. This is a major power move, man. It's about to get real wild in Babylon the Great America, which proves that we're at the end. All right, this place is going down in violence. All right. 4, behold, the hire of the laborers who have reaped down your fields, which is of you kept back by fraud. Yup. Okay. This place is fraudulent. Okay. All right. That's why it's an abomination to the Lord. Okay. It's a false balance. The whole financial system is a false balance. It really hurts the children of Israel. Okay. Cry it, and the cries of them which have reaped are entered into the ears of the Lord of Sabaoth, meaning the Lord of armies. Okay. Israel army. When you go into the Lord of Sabaoth. All right, repetition is the art of remembrance. Sabaoth, it means Lord of the armies of Israel. Right, that's it. The Lord of the armies of Israel. Lord of the armies of Israel. As those who are under the leadership and protection of the Most High Power through his son Yahweh Shai maintain his cause in war. Right? So there you go. 5, ye have lived in pleasure on the earth and been wanton. Ye have nourished your hearts as in the day of slaughter. That's right. Okay, that's it. You lived. It's over. This is the sign. It's over. The free money is gone. All right. This alchemy, witchcraft of a financial system is finished, man. It's now. Okay. Now it's going to get real spicy. So, Lord willing, is less edifying. A breaking news. All right, the Lord's judging this place. This is a sign of judgment, and it's only going to get worse. That's why we're telling our people to seek the Lord. All right, America's finished. This is a sign that America's finished. Babylon cannot be healed. You know what? I'll bring that out. Babylon cannot be healed. I'll close off with that. Jeremiah 51:8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. How for her? Take balm for her, if so be she may be healed. Right? Meaning she can't be healed. Okay? This is the Lord mocking. All right? There's no way you can heal this place. 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reaches not to heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. Right? Now, that doesn't mean to get up and fly to another country. All right? No, it just means, all right, in your mind. All right? Okay? It means to get your mind out of this place. Stop trusting in this place. This place is finished. Okay? And here's the thing. We as Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we don't even have the means to get the hell up out of this country. All right? A lot of the ones that are really leaving this country are the ones that saw this coming. All right, and they already have denounced their citizenship, and they paid whatever debt, and then now they became a national security threat because the American government wants to know why you want to denounce your citizenship. All right, and then you become now a national security threat. Well, why does person want to denounce their citizenship. Oh, no, no, no. All right, send in an asset, send in a Jason Bourne type character, okay, who hasn't rebelled, and go clip this person. So yeah, all right, that's what's really going on. All right, there's no escaping America, Babylon the Great's wrath. So you Jake's thinking about you could just go to another country. You would just become now a national security threat for America. So with that, I want to give all praises and all glory to, all right, Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep it there. Keep the faith. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostle elders. We're almost out of here. This is an indicator that we're almost out of here. Keep pushing. To the futures that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, trade, cover, shalom.